Over a year ago, we published a video which has helped thousands of women dilate their cervix faster. However, we constantly learn new things based on science as well as our experience at Natalie's clinic. And so we wanted to publish an updated video to help you dilate your cervix even faster.
Yes. So in order to dilate your cervix faster, you need 4 things. First, you need to make sure that your body is able to produce labor hormones and that it can also utilize them. Second, once that is done, you can then help your body to actually produce more labor hormones.
Yes. Third, you have to make sure that your baby's head puts more pressure on your cervix. And fourth, of course, if you want to dilate faster, eventually you're gonna need contractions.
Right. So in this video, we are going to share with you our 3 steps protocol and all the tools that I use at the clinic to help women accomplish all the things that we just mentioned.
Yes, this is Natalie, a pregnancy and birth consultant and TCM therapist.
And that's Matthias, the researcher and science geek. And on this channel, we help expecting mummies naturally and science-based.
We're happy that you're watching this, and now let's get started.
As always, when it comes to anything related to your pregnancy, please always talk to your provider first before you try anything that we mentioned in this video. Moreover, at the end of this video, we are going to show you how you can get our labor preparation brochure, which teaches you exactly how to apply the tools that we mentioned in this video.
Exactly. So in the first step of our 3 steps protocol, we help women create an environment in which the body is able to produce labor hormones or more labor hormones, particularly oxytocin, and most importantly to utilize them.
Right.
Because producing labor hormones is one thing, but they're useless if your body cannot use them to dilate your cervix faster, right?
Exactly. And in order to do that, you have to give your body the right nutrients. At the clinic, we normally start with this process in week 30. However, please don't worry if you're at a much later stage, it's still gonna work, okay? So first of all, you will need vitamin C because the production of oxytocin depends on it.
Yes. Second, you need vitamin D because it plays an important role in the regulation and function of oxytocin in your body. And third, you need magnesium because the receptors of oxytocin in your body require magnesium in order to be able to absorb and utilize oxytocin, okay?
Exactly. And so this is really the basis before we help the body produce more labor hormones in order to dilate faster. And of course, we provide more information about the required nutrients and how much you need in our brochure.
Right. So in the second step of our 3 steps protocol, we help the body soften the cervix. Obviously, you need a soft cervix as otherwise your body will not be able to dilate your cervix, right? So this step will help you get faster to a point where your body is able to dilate your cervix. It will also help you dilate faster if your cervix has already started to dilate. Plus, it will increase your chances that you go into labor spontaneously.
Absolutely. And for this phase, we use up to 6 tools. 4 of them have the purpose of helping the body produce the right kind of hormones. The remaining 2 tools are supposed to increase the pressure of your baby's head on your cervix.
Yes, so let's go through our 4 hormone enhancing measures first. The first one are dates. Scientists have found that eating between 60 and 80 grams of dates per day will influence your hormone levels in your body, which can help you prepare the uterus for labor and also soften your cervix. Ideally, you start to eat dates no later than week 37, unless your provider tells you otherwise, of course. And please keep in mind that dates contain lots of sugar. So please be very careful if you suffer from diabetes or gestational diabetes and eat plain dates only. So that's dates.
Right. The next tool to help you dilate faster is acupuncture, which means the stimulation of acupressure points with needles. However, you can also apply acupressure, which means that you would stimulate those acupressure points not with needles but with your fingers. Or your partner does it for you, unless you also have a partner who falls asleep while doing it.
Well, that was once only after a long day at the office, okay? Anyways, both acupuncture and acupressure are great tools to help your body soften your cervix. And according to scientific studies, they can also help your body release more oxytocin. And we normally start with acupressure no later than week 37, right?
Yes. The next tool to help you dilate faster is reflexology, which we normally apply from week 38. Reflexology is similar to acupressure, but in that case the acupressure points are located on the soles. Actually, reflexology is a wonderful tool because it allows us to stimulate specific organs in the body. For example, we can stimulate the pituitary gland, which is in charge for the release of oxytocin.
Yes, by the way, at the end of this video, we are going to share with you a video in which we show you exactly which acupressure and reflexology points to stimulate if you want to dilate faster. But it's also covered in our labor preparation brochure, of course.
Exactly.
Right?
And the fourth tool, which could help soften your cervix and dilate faster by releasing the right kind of hormones, is sex.
Yes, actually scientists are still indifferent if sex can really help you dilate faster. However, it could help because first of all, semen contains prostaglandins, which is another hormone that your body needs for your cervical changes. And second, it can also help your own body produce more oxytocin. In fact, some scientists say that sex can even help induce labor, but please don't be worried, that's only possible if your body is ready for labor, right? It's not that you will go into labor if you're only like 30 weeks pregnant, for instance, right?
Absolutely. So those were the 4 tools to help your body produce more labor hormones, to help soften your cervix and eventually to dilate faster. Now, as already mentioned, next to labor hormone enhancing measures, it is also important that you help your body increase the pressure on your cervix from above with the help of your baby's head. And this is also what we do in step 2 of our 3 steps protocol.
Yes, so how can you get your baby to increase the pressure on your cervix? Well, the most ideal situation would be if your baby is head down, facing your back, and if your baby is engaged. Because in that case, your baby's head can apply well to your cervix, and so with every centimeter that baby moves further down your pelvis, baby increases the pressure on your cervix.
Right. The best 2 ways to get baby into such an optimal position and to increase the pressure on your cervix in general are the following 2, given that your baby is head down, okay?
Yeah.
If your baby is breech, please watch the video that you can find in the description below this video, in which we show you how to turn a breech baby. But if your baby is head down, try the following 2 methods to increase the pressure on your cervix in order to dilate faster.
Yes, the first one is the right sitting position. At the end of your pregnancy, it is really important that you sit upright and at least occasionally lean forward, because this will help your baby's body to better align with your pelvis. As a result, your baby can find a better position, baby can more easily enter your pelvis and thus increase the pressure on your cervix.
Right. And then the other thing that you should do is exercising. In fact, a 30 minutes walk per day from week 36 or even earlier can already be enough to get your baby into a better position. However, the best thing you can do are birth wall exercises, because when you do these circling movements, you offer your baby different angles into your pelvis. And this will make it so much easier for your baby to enter your pelvis and thus to increase the pressure on your cervix.
Yes, by the way, sitting in the right position during the last few weeks of your pregnancy, as well as birth ball exercises, are so important that we recorded 2 videos about these topics that we are going to share with you at the end of this video.
Right.
And both topics are also covered in our brochure, right? Now again, the goal of the tools in step 2 of our 3 steps protocol is primarily to help your body soften your cervix so that you get faster to the point when your cervix is ready to dilate.
Yes, however, the reality is that when you apply these tools, your body doesn't stop after your cervix is soft, right?
Yeah.
In other words, these tools can help you dilate and in particular dilate faster.
Yes, in fact, oftentimes applying these tools is all that it takes for a woman to go into labor spontaneously as soon as her body is ready for it.
Right.
If you do not, or if it's not going fast enough for you, then you need step 3 of our protocol, and that's labor induction.
Exactly. There are 2 natural tools which can help you bring on contractions. And contractions is really what you will need eventually in order to dilate faster.
Yeah.
Because the reality is, women normally only dilate a little bit before they go into labor, mostly 1, 2 or 3 centimeters. However, the biggest part of your cervical dilation can only happen with the help of contractions.
Yeah.
And the great thing about our natural tools is that they could send you into labor within 12 to 72 hours according to scientific studies. The first tool to help you naturally induce labor is nipple stimulation. Scientists found that nipple stimulation can send a woman into labor within 48 to 72 hours.
Yes, however, it's only likely to work if your body is ready for labor. In fact, the odds for you to go into labor from nipple stimulation are much higher if your cervix is soft. In addition, if you already had some contractions in the past, then according to scientists, the chances of getting contractions from nipple stimulation are double as high.
Yes, and then if nipple stimulation does not work, you could also try to bring on contractions with the help of a mechanical reaction in your intestines. So what does this mean? Well, what many women don't know is that their uterus sits right in front of their intestines.
Yes, and so if something were to cause a reaction in the intestines, then it could have a spillover effect on the uterus and bring on contractions. And this is exactly why so many women try castor oil, right? Because it is a laxative which can cause a reaction in your intestines.
Right.
In fact, according to scientific studies, castor oil often works so well that it sends women into labor within 12 to 48 hours.
Yeah.
But castor oil tends to work a little bit better in women who gave birth to at least one baby in the past already.
Yes, but of course there are also other things which could cause a similar reaction in your intestines. For example, spicy food.
Yeah.
Just keep in mind that spicy food will only work for you if you're not used to spicy food.
Right. Always keep in mind though that neither nipple stimulation, nor castor oil, nor spicy food can bring on labor as long as your body is not ready for labor.
Right.
So that is why we always say to women, start to prepare your body for labor early with the tools that we describe in the first two parts of our 3 steps protocol.
Right.
If you do that, you are not only more likely to go into labor spontaneously, you also make sure that the tools from part 3 of our protocol are more likely to work.
Right, so again, in our labor preparation brochure, we show you how everything works that we have discussed today, including how to find acupressure and reflexology points, which nutrients you need and how much of it, how much castor oil you need, etc. You can find it in the description below this video.
Yeah.
On top of that, we recommend watching the following 3 videos on our YouTube channel.
Yes, so the first one, which is supposed to pop up now, discusses some of the tools that we have mentioned today in more detail, and it also teaches you how to apply those tools.
Right. The second video teaches you how to do burst ball exercises in preparation for labor.
Yes, and in the third video, we share with you the best sitting position if you want to go into labor spontaneously. And of course, you can also find the links to those videos in the description below this video.
Right. If you have found this video helpful, we would be super grateful if you could leave us a like below this video.
Yes, and for more useful tips and tools on pregnancy-related topics, make sure to subscribe to our channel and to hit the bell.